Hey everyone, today I will show you how you can build a 5x5 door. Yeah, not this one, because that's the old version, and now Coole Banane and I went ahead and improved it, which we've built right there. So this version is faster. It's not smaller, it's not bigger, but it's faster. And that's important. Also, I believe it's cheaper. So yeah, now I'm gonna show you how you can build it. The first thing we'll start with is the layout. For that, you're firstly gonna dig down 4 blocks under the ground for the redstone technique, and then you're gonna build a triple extender 1 block under the door frame at the bottom. And you're gonna repeat it 3 times, so it's like that in the middle. Now you're gonna build your storage. So you're gonna build it on the front for the bottom. Then you're gonna build the sides. So 5 pistons right here. And 5 pistons right over here. And now the only thing left is the top. So quad extender right there, 1 block above the door frame, and repeat it 3 times like on the bottom. And here you're also gonna need storage with blocks in it. So now we are almost done with the layout. There's just one little thing which is actually pretty important, and those are the updater pistons. Because the door will mostly work with butt switches, we will need to update some pistons. Since here's gonna be a line of dust, and it's gonna power this, but the piston won't extend unless it's being updated. Same on the retraction. Oh yeah, it did, because this piston updated it. But in the door it won't. So, that's why they're there. And now let's fill in the door frame. And after this, we are gonna build the layout. So, like I said, the next part will be the inputs for the pistons. And we'll do the circuit with gray wool. And we are also gonna need these components. Yeah, these 5. So, yeah, the first thing are 4 blocks on these positions. Then you're gonna place 4 redstone dust on both, and also 3 redstone dust right here at the bottom. Now we're gonna go to the other side, and at first we will do the storage input, which is just like this. 3 blocks on the storage pistons and dust. And then the input for the top pistons, since they won't get powered by this input, they will only be powered by the repeaters right here. And that's the top. And now we are gonna build the bottom inputs, which at first we're gonna place 3 blocks right here. Then I forgot to take the pistons, which we'll need. We'll place 2 with a 1 wide or 1 high gap. And then we need 4 observers going like that, and 4 at the bottom. Now there'll be a few pistons right here. This piston to push this back, this piston to update the one on the bottom, this piston to push the top line of observers back, and that one to update the top piston. and also these blocks to power the piston and this piston. And now we are gonna go to the triple extender. At first we place 3 hoppers at the bottom block and 3 observers. So now we're gonna do the side, and more precisely the right side. So first we're gonna place a dropper on the height of the highest piston. Then we're gonna place an observer which will power these 2 pistons. Then 1 observer going down into a block, and a block right here which will power all of the pistons with the help of the redstone dust. So that will look like this. And also we can do ourselves a favor and place an observer right there and a repeater right here to make the connection to the bottom and the top. Yeah, that was actually the side. Easy, right? Now we're gonna do the top closing. So the first thing is gonna be the connection to the top from here. We'll just run a few observers to here, and then up here on the same height as this block here. And here's gonna be a piston which is a monostable, so it will power it on the closing but not do anything on the opening. And then we have a line of dust going here into the storage. Now we need an observer looking at the line and a dropper right here powering these pistons. Then we need 2 observers looking at the dropper going to this input, making enough delay for the last pulse of the closing. This will look like this. Yeah, like I said, it won't do anything at the opening. At least for the top. It will attract the side though. So how you can reset it is you break those blocks and place triple extender from the last pistons, replace the storage blocks and then these blocks. So yeah, that's the closing. Now we are gonna go on to the quad. So the quad's gonna be in blue, for me at least. And for that we'll place a piston right here, a sticky one of course, with an observer looking down, and a hopper above the observer. That will do so that it will only power on the opening. Now we have an observer looking down at the hopper, with block on top, block to the side, and a redstone dust. And then we have an observer looking into the door, no, like into the hopper powering into the door, with a repeater right here, like this. Those will be the first 2 pulses, and now we'll place an observer on the side and looking down into a block with redstone dust on top, block to the side, 2-tick repeater to the side, and a block which will be the next pause. Now we need 5 ticks after this observer, which I'll do with a 3 and a 2-tick running into some redstone dust. The next thing will be a 4-tick repeater, which will retract this line of pistons, like that, with a block on the dust. Then we have another 4-tick repeater running into a monostable circuit with the block on top. Then we'll have a 2-tick repeater and a dropper right here, block right here, and dust right here. Now we need 4 observers like that, with a block right here and dust to power the top pistons. Now we have 2 observers like that running into this line of blocks, and we need blocks like that with a 3-tick and 2-tick. Here's a 2-tick, and here's 2 dust. And now we'll have an observer right here, down, then into the door, down, into a hopper, into the front, into another hopper, looking down, and then into a block. Yeah, that was a bit complicated, but not too bad. And now let's test it. And it works, which is what we want to see. So now we're just gonna put in the storage blocks and the blocks right here. And the next thing is gonna be the refiring and the extra moves. Now we'll do the refiring and the extra moves, which will be in green, in lime. So the first thing is taking redstone power, which we'll take from here, run this into a monostable so it doesn't clog, and into a hopper right here. Then we place an observer down here, observer looking at this observer, and observer looking up, and into the top of the door with some dust right here and the block right here. I'll power the hopper and the observer, which will power the first extra move. Now we'll just run a line of observers right here into a block and into a hopper. Also we'll place 2 blocks right here with a dust and a 2-tick repeater, so it doesn't break, like the side doesn't break. And then we'll just place an observer looking down and 2 observers looking across, like this. And now we need a monostable for the refiring, which we'll build from here, looking down into a monostable. The dropper will be down here, then a hopper, and an observer looking at the hopper refiring the door. And that's the whole top. So let's test it. Doesn't work. The blocks are placed, will be pushed up from the bottom, so that's okay. And yeah, that's what we want to see. So that's the working top, and now let's go to the bottom closing. Now let's continue with the bottom. The bottom will be in yellow, and yeah, it's not gonna be the whole bottom, it's just gonna be the closing. So at first you place the block right here, getting the power from this observer. This will power the first storage. Then we have 3 repeaters right here, going into a block and into another repeater, into a block, and redstone dust. So that will be the first block pushed up. Then we need the second block, which will power from here. with dust right here, 2 repeaters right here, another dust right here to power the bottom storage. Then we need a slab right here, so the piston doesn't get powered. Then 2 repeaters right here, block right here, dust right here, and observer right here with a dust. Actually, I believe that's a repeater, but yeah, that should be the bottom closing all done. So let's see. Oops. And that's not really what we want to see, so that should work now. And that's looking very good. So first I'll show you how you can reset it. And now we'll do the bottom opening. So yeah, I'll see you in a second. So before I show you how you can build the opening from the bottom, I'll firstly show you how you can close this side, and that will finish the whole doors closing, because that's what we built first in the door. So I'll build this here as well. So we have an observer looking down, which will be updated by this piston into a sticky piston and an observer into another sticky piston. That time it faces up, and another observer which looks in this direction now. And then here's a node block and observer looking at it. So the node block will power these 2 pistons, and then we'll have a red block right here which will power these 2, and we're also gonna need a dust which will power the last one. That should be the whole closing actually done. So now really the last part we need is the bottom opening, which we'll build in a second. Now for the last part, which is the bottom opening. The first thing you do is you place an observer looking up with 1 block gap underneath this sticky piston. Now you place another observer with a 1 block gap down there with redstone dust on top. The observer will be needed for later. Now you place 1 block here with redstone dust, and now 3 blocks raised with 2 redstone dust and 40 repeater right here. Now we need to create a bit of delay, so we will just turn it like that, and then we'll just bring it over here. Then 1 looking down, which will power this block, which won't affect the door since there's a repeater. 1 right here powering the hoppers, and last but not least 2 observers like so.